Myelogram and CSF flow brain MRI results are in, kind of. I'm going to talk about what that means for me, what it said, what I plan for my next steps to be, and kind of how I feel about everything. My test results, I had the radiologist office send them to me in the mail. Um, the discs of my scans and the radiologist's report. So my neurosurgeon was apparently very busy. So they had scheduled my follow up with him, the one who ordered these tests, for like the middle of September. And then I scheduled this myelogram, ended up having it like the beginning of August, and they couldn't move my appointment up any sooner or whatever. All the nurses and everything there in the radiologist department, and through all these different places said, and even that neurosurgeon's office said to call a couple days after I had those tests done and just ask if somebody could call me with the results, if it could be done that way. And they said they would do it. And they said it'd probably take a couple days because the neurosurgeon is busy, and he's only in the office on Wednesdays. So, and he would need to review it first before they could call me back. I called them, and the receptionists said that they don't know who told me that they would be able to call me with the results. It's impossible for the neurosurgeon to be able to review them and have time to call me with the results because he sees over 60 patients in that one day on Wednesday. So I have to wait till my appointment day. There's no other choice. So that was fine. It was frustrating because I'm in a lot of pain. I'm in a lot of new pain. I just had this invasive test done. And I really went through a lot to get those, results and everything and try to figure out what's going on with my body. And then being told I could call, and then they tell me when I do call that that's not possible. It's just really frustrating. But really, this entire process from the time I found out that I have Syringomyelia has been very frustrating, and didn't really make sense how my situation has been handled from the very beginning, to me, in my opinion. But anyways, so what happened was the radiologists had sent me those results. I got the myelogram. I got the discs of both right away, and I got the myelogram report right away. That was done very fast. So that came in the mail, and it said, and obviously I'm not a doctor, but the radiologist clearly spelled out what he saw on there. What it said was, and I could be missing things, but this is from what I clearly saw. So until I speak with my neurosurgeon, there may be more, but it said that I have the Chiari-1 malformation. It notated that my cerebral or whatever tonsils were herniated by 9 millimeters on the myelogram. So I have Chiari. Also, the brain CSF flow brain MRI results came back a few days later. And that also was reported that I have the Chiari-1 malformation. The tonsillar descent in that said 7 millimeters. And obviously, CSF flow brain MRI and a myelogram are two completely different procedures. I don't know why there would be a difference in the results. That's something that I can ask the doctor, but in any case, they were both over 5 millimeters, and apparently that is the criteria for a Chiari malformation, is a herniation of 5 millimeters or more. So I have Chiari. So what that means for me in regards to my Syringomyelia is I find that as a relieving thing. I think that's a good thing because I know that um, the decompression surgery for that um, has really promising results as far as the syrinx shrinking after the surgery. Now, that is brain surgery. Um, I can go into detail in a later video on, just exactly what that surgery entails and what I expect the recovery to be like, and all of those things at a later time. But for now, I know that that's really the option that I'm looking at. I know that's really like the only option I'm looking at, and it's a good option. So I, of course, am like nervous to know that I'm looking at brain surgery. So like that neurosurgeon, I haven't seen the neurosurgeon who ordered those tests, but truthfully, I wouldn't want that neurosurgeon to do this kind of surgery anyways, because I know that that neurosurgeon doesn't see my condition very often at all. So I would want somebody who does it a lot to be, you know, cracking my head open and doing brain surgery. So, I I've gotten all the things that I need to send to specialists who treat this condition and do that decompression surgery a lot. So, they have everything. I'm just waiting now for the neurosurgeon there at that specialty place to review everything and get back to me about what exactly it is they think needs to be done. If there's any testings I need to do before then, et cetera, et cetera. So once I hear from that specialty place, I'll update this channel just because I really want this to just be like a really thorough, a thorough documentation of my process with these conditions, for other people who are going through it. So yeah, I will do that. Obviously, I've never had a myelogram before, but I've also never had a brain MRI up until this point, and part of me kind of wonders, like, if they had listened to me from the beginning, if I was at, like, when I very first, my primary care doctor referred me to the first neurosurgeon I ever saw. If that neurosurgeon was a little bit more skilled on this condition, could I maybe have been able to avoid that myelogram if he had just done full imaging of my brain and spine? Then it would have caught the Chiari malformation, and I maybe wouldn't have had to have that very, very painful, invasive procedure, the myelogram. But I definitely think that that's true, but I also think that I can't go back in time, and I clearly can't make certain, providers do what I want or do what I think or do even what people knowledgeable on the condition deem necessary. Like I can only speak up and hope that they listen, and if they don't, find new doctors who maybe know this particular thing better. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I can from this point on, and I'm trying really hard not to think in the past about what ifs, stuff like that. But it's frustrating for sure. So yeah, I just want to end by saying, that is my new diagnosis. I have Arnold Chiari type 1 and Syringomyelia. And it's pretty certain that the Arnold Chiari malformation is what's causing my Syringomyelia. So, yeah, I know from my research, even though I haven't met with the knowledgeable on this specific topic, neurosurgeons, yet, to know exactly what it is that they want to do or what they deem necessary. But I do know from all the research that I've done that really the only option is the decompression surgery option. And honestly, that is the best option for my situation, because it's got very, very good statistics of the syrinx shrinking after the surgery. So I'm hoping that because there is a rather large syrinx there and I'm having progressive symptoms, that I'll be able to have the surgery fairly quickly. That is my hope and prayer. I don't take the surgery lightly. I know it's brain surgery, but I've done my research and I really know that that is the best option for me. So I really just want to get it done and over with, and you know, pray for the best. So I pray for the best for anybody watching this who's going through the same things. I know how scary it can be, and I just, you know, hope we all make sure we're advocating for ourselves. And it's almost impossible for me to say, you know, try to stay positive, because I know that this is such a not positive things to be dealing with. But you know, we just want to make sure that we count our blessings, because no matter what our circumstances is, whether they can find what the cause of the blockage is or not or whatever, there's always something that we can be grateful for in life. And we really need to find those things and hold tight to them, especially when we're in the middle of like storms, when we're dealing with stuff. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and that's all I have today. I'll share when I learn more.